Hello! I always forget to say, I'm Brenda. My channel is Handwork Maniac, and I'm also Handwork Maniac on Instagram. Welcome, welcome all you stitchers, and maybe a few of you out there who are not stitchers, and I don't know why you'd be watching. Maybe you're with someone else who's watching it. I don't know. Welcome. It's a beautiful, beautiful summer, early summer. That's what it feels like. It's spring day outside. I think it's in the low 70s finally. We've had weeks and weeks of rain in the 50s, but it feels like spring might actually be here today. I have been outside doing yard work all morning. We volunteered to go help do the weekly cleaning on our church this morning, and I was doing the glass doors. So my arm was already tired, and my, kneeling down, standing up, crouching down, standing up muscles. And then I came home and did yard work, clear till now. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been doing yard work this whole time. So now I can tell already that in a couple of hours I'm going to be very stiff. And tomorrow morning I may not be able to get out of bed to go to church. I will. Just going to be in a lot of pain tomorrow. Oh, I was pruning. You're supposed to prune your fruit trees in like February, March. But I didn't get it done, and our apricot tree was gotten so big and was completely full of apricots. And my dad always said, if your fruit tree gets bigger, taller than your ladder, it's your own dumb fault. So I try really hard to keep that tree pruned down where it's easy to pick and we can reach it from our little ladder. And I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off, and then had to go out and take care of it today. I have 2 apple trees that also need to be pruned, but I'm not going to do those today. The apricot tree is the biggest one, so I'll do those other 2 next week. And my son, Andrew, came over and mowed the lawn for me today. My husband has a full-time job during the week, and then he also runs a side business, which takes up a lot of his time on Saturdays. So I usually do most of the yard work. He does the heavy stuff that I can't do, and he will mow the lawn whenever he can. But I was going to mow the lawn today, and my son, for my birthday and Mother's Day, said, "What do you want?" And I said, "You want to come over and mow my lawn?" So he came. It was Andrew, the youngest, came and mowed my lawn today. So it's looking really good out there. I've been doing a little bit of yard work every day, so I didn't have to spend my whole Saturday doing it because I need to get to Maynia stitching. What am I doing? It's 3 o'clock. Oh, but I knew I need to get this video done before I go sit down to stitch, or I'm not going to get back out of that chair. I'm gonna have issues. All right. Crazy week. I told you last week that we moved my youngest son, Andrew, that you met on the stocking video, he and his wife, Lauren, from St. George up to here on Saturday. And then Wednesday night, the first day of Maynia, we helped him move into his new apartment because he couldn't get in until May 1st. So I spent a lot of time on May 1st helping move him, which was awesome. We're happy to have him close by. Orem is only 10 or 15 minutes from our house in Pleasant Grove, so it's really nice to have them there. And the apartment's really nice. We're excited for them. And then my older son, Michael, which you also met on the stocking video last November with his wife, his wife, Hannah. Oh my gosh. They live in Springville, but he graduated from college yesterday. So on day 3 of Maynia, I was going to his college graduation, and then we had a big dinner celebration at a restaurant in the evening, but I did get a little bit done. So it's been a busy week, and I've been at work all week. I did take part of the day off Friday to go to my son's graduation down at Utah Valley University, but it's been a great family, lots of time holding grandkids and trying to keep quiet. But that's what grandmas do, right? They try and entertain the grandkids. All right, let's get to some stitching. I showed you last week, I started one of my Maynia pieces early on my birthday last Sunday. And then I worked on it until Maynia started on the 1st, so it got a couple more days. I think I made my video last week on Monday? This week? This Monday? So it got some more stitching after the video Monday night and Tuesday night. So I'll show you my progress. This is Utopie, distributed by Jardin Prive. It's by Camille Camps. It's got a little bird in a swing. I was able to get that backstitching on there so you could see that. And then I was able to backstitch one of the little houses in the tree trunk. Loving this piece. So I like this fabric. It's on 40 count. Silkweaver Autumn Field. It's a very taupe color, but it works well with all these warm colors that are in this. This is what the pattern looks like. You can see that it has little houses in the tree and little birdies in the swings. So I did this little house and started working on this branch out here where this little bird is swinging. Very nice, enjoying that. I won't get back to it again until I'm going to do it on the very last day of Maynia since I started it kind of before. So it'll be my Maynia piece for May 19th. And then I'll start over on May 20th and do all my Maynia pieces. I'll give them all one more day. So that will give me into the, I don't know, what will that be? The 10th or 12th of June, something like that. So they can all have one more day on them before I go back to my normal rotation. And then I also decided, I suspended everything else, all my other whips, but I have two that have an end of June deadline. So I spend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I spend my first hour when I sit down to stitch, I spend on Petite House by Sodastitch. Looks like this. Little dollhouse. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I was able to get all the back stitching done on what I had done so far and started working some more on the living room carpet. So enjoying this piece. It's the cutest thing. Really, really like it. It is on 40 count Silkweaver Rainbow, the called for DMC colors. One strand of floss over 2 fabric threads. And I will keep working on that through the month of May for the first hour that I sit down on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And then on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, I'll keep working on my daughter-in-law Hannah's Christmas stocking. I was able to finish all of the back stitching in the top half, so I moved the Q-snaps down. So I'm now working on the bottom half of the stocking. That's good because it needs to be done by the end of June, so I can start on my other daughter-in-law's stocking and have them both done by Christmas. But here's where it is, how it's looking. I'm working on the things that are sitting on the stove, the teapot and the pot of soup or something. So that one's moving right along. It is on 28 count mushroom Lugana with the called for DMC. Oh, sorry, I'm allergic to something that oh, you should have seen me when I came in. I had little green apricots all over in my hair. I had blossoms in my hair. I've got scratches all up and down my arms. I was having a wrestle with that tree today, but I'm allergic to something outside that's blooming right now, and it's making my nose really itchy. Or it's just Flosstube, right? Itchy nose, Flosstube. Called for DMC on 28 count mushroom Lugana, which I believe is the original called for fabric. That series of heirloom stockings is in the Better Homes and Gardens old cross stitch and country crafts magazines from the 80s and 90s. They did one in the premiere issue, and then they did one in every July, August issue after that. I'm doing this one, the hometown holiday kitchen, maybe. trying to think what this one, actual name of this one is. It's the Heirloom Stocking series. So you can either find them in the old Cross Stitch and Country Crafts July-August issues, or, oh, I took the book upstairs. Better Homes and Gardens reprinted all of them in a little booklet called Heirloom Stockings by Better Homes and Gardens. It's been reprinted twice and has gone out of print again. I think you can still find it on eBay, but I've been told that it's kind of pricey. It has 9 stocking patterns in it. There is one more that I've seen on the Cooler Design Studio website, Kooler, also has most of the stocking patterns on there. I did not see the kitchen one on there, but they have one more called Gardener's Delight, I think, that is not in the book that I have. And I don't have it in my magazine series either, so I need to purchase that from the Cooler Design Studio website so that I have all 10. I don't know, maybe I'm going to have to make the gardening one someday for someone in my family. So I believe there are 10 stockings in that series. They all use the same color palette, 223 range of that pinky mauve, the 930, 931 blues, the very 80s, 90s colors. What else was I going to tell you about that? Oh, and 123 Stitch has a couple of them on their website as well. They've started carrying several patterns from the Cooler Design Studio website. So there's a couple, not all of them, but I saw a couple of them on there as well. But not this kitchen one. I don't know why. All but the kitchen one is out there. I don't know. All right. Maynia. Happy Maynia, everyone. I am just having a ball doing Maynia this year. I am having so much fun. So May 1st, after we finished helping Andrew move into his apartment, I came right home and started on my project. Gosh, it was only 4 days ago. What was May 1st? Which one? Oh, I know. And I didn't bring that one downstairs. Dang it. Well, I showed a picture of it on my Instagram. It's one of the little calendar cards that I'm doing for my perpetual SamSarah Fun Everyday calendar that I have at work. I'm adapting a Bent Creek Winter Arches pattern of a snowy house on it. And all I got done on May 1st was the black and white checkered border that goes around all of the Fun Everyday cards. And I started on that little Weeks Dye Works sweet potato strip that also goes across the front of every one of the cards. So I didn't actually get to the design on it yet, but I did get almost all of the border done that's on every card. You can see that on my Instagram. Sorry, I don't... See? It's been a crazy day. I didn't get everything down here. And then on May 2nd, I couldn't wait any longer, and I had to start R-Kade. Let's see if I can make less noise with the bags today. I'll just take it all out, except that now I don't have the... All right, it is Long Dog R-Kade, R-Kade. I love this pattern. It looks like a forest to me, and I believe those are stylized trees. And the little animals and the saying, oh, I love this pattern. So I did what I told you I was going to do, and I cut up all of the silk. Cut that big loop of silk. I cut it through the whole loop at one end, so I had really long strands. And then I just took 10 or 20 of them at a time and looped them around my fingers and stuffed them in a bag. It took six baggies to fit it all in. I marked one as the current bag so I'd know which one I was working out of. And then I just pull one long piece of that out. I pull off my one strand and cut that in half is what it ended up being. And then I loop this is 6-stranded floss, so it has 5 strands left when I pull one strand out. So I loop that around my fingers. And I stuff that in the bag right here in the corner where I will find it. And then I cut that one strand in half, and I use one, and I put the other one right here in the corner where the other one is. And that's how I use floss in my bags. It is on 40 count. Picture This Plus Conifer. Here we go. And this is how much I got done. I love the floss. I love how it's looking on this darker green fabric. I love the silk. It just glides in and out of this fabric. I love the way the fabric feels. One of those projects where just everything comes together. It not only looks pleasing, but it feels good to work on it. Sometimes it looks really pleasing and you want it, but it's not very fun to work on. This one is gonna just be a joy to stitch on. The back stitching almost like little snowflake medallions right here are so pretty. And it's doing exactly what I was hoping it would do. The brown kind of disappears into the fabric and the orange, yellow, and green pop. So I'm hoping it will have that look to it, like a really dark forest, and you're looking into it and little pieces of sunlight here and there, and the rest is dark. So loving that piece. I'm so sad that I'm not going to work on it again until May 21st. I may, if I have a problem with one of my other projects, you know how you get started on one of them and it's not going to work out and you have to order a different piece of fabric or something. I may, put that down or work on it for an hour or something and then go back to this one. Gonna love that piece. May 3rd, yesterday, after we got back from the graduation dinner, I started Sky Blue Street by Sodastitch. Another one by Sodastitch. I love Sodastitch. I love their bright colors. I love their design. They are just, I'll just let that fall down. They are so cute. This one is long and skinny and big. Okay, I know we talked about that. Big is a relative term, depending on what you stitch on, usually. This is where I am so far. Looks like these great big houses, like part of the street, and what it actually is these itty bitty little houses back here on this side street that's going back. That's what it is. See if I can hold that so you can see. Because I wanted to start in the middle. I needed to start in the middle on this one because it's going to be a tight fit on this fabric and I did not want it to be off. It needs to fit for all that work. So 36 count white linen, 1 strand of the called for DMC floss over 2 fabric threads. 36 count is always hard because 1 strand isn't quite, I just want it to be a little bit better coverage than it is. Silk is better because silk is fatter than cotton floss, so silk covers a little better, but this is going to be DMC. But 2 strands on 36 count is a tight fit. It is squishy and it is hard to get because there's just really not even enough room to lay down very well. It's really hard to get those strands to lay straight next to each other, 2 strands. So I decided that I did not want to work that hard on this piece. I wanted to enjoy it. So I'm doing the 1 strand of floss. And it's going to be a lighter color because you're going to see some of that white fabric showing through just a little bit, but not bad. I'm okay with it. I think it looks okay. Oh, so fun. And then this morning, I woke up really early with a bad headache. And so I took some medicine, and then waiting for it to kick in, I decided to go down and start my May 4th piece because I knew I was going to help clean at the church and then do some yard work, and that I wasn't going to get to my stitching later. So I got it started early this morning. And I chose this one, Jen Hauptman Designs. This is also on that same piece of 36 count white linen, and I chose these two early in Maynia because I wanted to make sure that it was going to look okay on that 36 count. If I didn't like it, I was going to order another piece of fabric really quick. So that's why I did Sky Blue Street yesterday and this one today. I just love that it looks like a patchwork quilt. He actually, I'm sure he chose these colors on purpose, but to me it looks like he just was using up floss that he had left from other projects. I love that. And I decided to do that, like I said, on 36 count white linen. Let's see, goes this way. This is my start so far. The hour I had to stitch this morning. And I told you before that I just put all my silk threads that I have left from other projects, from my 3 chatelaine projects and from a couple of other projects that called for silk. I put it all in this bag, and I'm just going to pull out a color. Well, every time I change medallions, I'm just going to choose a color that I like and try and not put 2 reds right next to each other, or 2 colors that look horrible right next to each other. I'll do a little bit of choosing, but otherwise it's just going to be like a patchwork of the floss that I have left. But I am going to use all of my overdyed silks because I love them, and I have a lot of them, and I might as well use them. The color I started with, I think, is, I left the bag upstairs. I think it's Highland Garden. Might be Gloriana. I think it's Gloriana Highland Garden. Okay, that's all the whips. Where's my list? Haul. Let's do haul really quick. I ordered this needle minder. That is so pretty. Can you see how 3D it is? The most beautiful tree. On Etsy, from Zulifa. Okay, Zulifa. Zulifa Miniatures on Etsy. She also, Zulifa Miniatures blogspot, and she also has a Facebook page, Zulifa Miniatures. She is in the Ukraine. So it took a while to get here, but oh, it was worth the wait. I think it is just gorgeous. I'm trying to decide which Maynia project I'm going to use this needle minder on. And then I also got I had ordered a fob. So because I use the same scissors that I love every day, my silver Dovos. But I like changing the scissor fob on it every month to the seasons. This one has a little snail. Because May is when I do a lot of yard work, getting ready for this. You know, you kind of get it all ready, and then you just kind of maintain during the summer, but there's a lot of yard work. And this bead right in the middle, I think it's supposed to be a pear. Looks like a pear to me. It has little spots on it and little leaves. Beautiful. I'm going to go up right now and put this on my scissor fob for May before I start stitching. And she also sent me this beautiful little thread grabber, thread hider. It's purple. Bob on it. And I ordered this from, she's in Australia. I don't know the name of her Etsy shop. She didn't put a card in here, but her name is Tatiana. Tatyana. So it could be, maybe her Etsy store is Tatiana something. But if you did a search, if she still has them and you did a search for scissor fob snail, I'm sure you'd find it. Those were the only two things I got in haul last week. For my old finish, since I started that Jan Houtman sampler, Quaker sampler, for my old finish, I was going to show you this old Quaker. What do I have I could put behind it? Oh, my back hurts. I am going to be so sore. Let's see if that helps. This Quaker is called Mary Wigham. It's an Ackworth school, one of the Ackworth school Quakers. I believe it was a free pattern that you could go to a link on a website and download it for free. It was a huge, there were a lot of people stitching this. It was kind of like this huge stitch along. Lots of stitchers were participating. 6 or 8 years ago, I want to say. I was going to iron it and then thought, no, I don't want to spend my time ironing today. I want to spend my time stitching today. So sorry. You're just going to have to see it all accordion. I was glad. This one I also just did like patchwork. I just used, this one is, I don't think this is silks. I think I did this in overdyed cotton. And I was just using floss that I had. I'm just pulling floss out and doing the next medallion. I was glad I pulled it out because I remember doing it and I remember really enjoying it. But I had forgotten that the lighter colors that I used just totally disappear. And then you've got the really dark colors. So I think on this one, I was glad I pulled it out because on this Jan Houtman that I'm just starting, I'm going to try and just do darker colors that show up better. Because you can see that there's some light peach and some light yellow motifs that don't show up unless you're looking at it really close because they're such light colors on the white. So that was, I'm glad, thank you for inspiring me to pull that out today so I could show it to you so that I could look at it and go, oh yeah, I forgot. I just need to use darker colors. I don't know if it is still available. If you searched Mary Wigham Quaker, if it is available still somewhere, I'm sure you'll find it because there were a lot of people working on it at the time. And I'm not going to do what I wish I was stitching on because what I wish I was stitching on is my Maynia projects, which I'm going to go do right now as soon as I'm done. So isn't that what everyone was wanting to work on right now, is their Maynia projects? I think that's everything. Unless I forgot something. I hope I didn't. I hope you have a lovely, lovely Saturday. I hope it's nice weather where you are. If not, stay inside and stitch. And I hope you get all the stitching done that you would like to get done today, or at least enough to bring some joy to your life. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you. Bye-bye.